to try again, see if I can get the volume to work. I'm using a microphone attached. You may see it out of the corner. You can just barely see it down in the left-hand corner. I'm going to try to use a microphone and get the volume to work so you can actually hear the comments I'm making. I apologize because you may also hear my children coming and going and opening doors and closing doors and those kinds of things. But it's because it's a Saturday afternoon in their home, so trying to make it work. It is what it is. So back now to answer the questions. The first one, if Cru Spokane were to close its doors tomorrow, would anybody in the community notice? Well, yes, the people we've discipled would notice. The people we have relationships would notice. The overall community? No, I don't think the overall community would notice, and they definitely wouldn't care. Learning about nonprofit leadership and administration may help answer or change some of those realities, but that's where we're at right now. And the danger of the thin gospel. Where have I seen that laid out? Or lived out. I think the clearest example I have right now is in a video called Seattle is Dying, put out by Como News. It's about the homelessness crisis in Seattle and the way the city's responding and how at least the people with Como News or the producers of that particular video are interpreting the circumstances. And the people who are sending it to me are believers. And actually, they really love Jesus. One couple, they are incredibly generous to me and Chris with our personal support. They've been very generous in helping with Mamo and my work over in Africa. So they're really very, very generous people. But the problem is when they look at that, they're looking at a thin gospel. They're looking just at the spiritual component and not seeing the people who are dealing with the consequences of homelessness and poverty as people. They're seeing them as drug addicts and as people who need to be more responsible. And there probably is an element to that for some of the people that are highlighted in the Seattle is Dying video. I mean, honestly, I can be more responsible. I think all of us can be. But the thin gospel looks just at the spiritual component and sees people as broken or sinners and sees Jesus as the solution. And while I completely agree that we are sinners and we need Jesus, and that Jesus is the solution to the problem of sin, when people are hungry, they need food. And when somebody's cold, they need a blanket or a warm place to sleep. When somebody's feet or socks and shoes are rotting off their feet, we can give them warm socks and a pair of shoes and communicate more about the gospel than when we show them a video and ask them to raise their hands or read them a booklet and ask them to pray. I think a more robust perspective of the whole gospel and the whole church is, one, I had a conversation with a professor at Great Northern University, which is a Christian liberal arts school that just started in Spokane. And he challenged me because I was defining the church as conservative white evangelicals. I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. And he challenged me on that definition, and I started to realize, oh wait, the whole church is not just my denomination or my community that I identify with. It's much broader than that. And looking at Walking with the Poor and Brant Myers highlighting the fact that, well, and a lot of the other reading that I've done, highlighting the fact that the Catholic Church actually has been, there's a printer, sorry. Catholic Church has actually been very active in social justice and in addressing felt needs for a long time. And valuing and appreciating their investment in the whole gospel is, I think, really important. But ultimately, I think we can't really fulfill the Great Commission or the mandate from Matthew 28 to go out and make disciples and to teach them everything Jesus taught his disciples. I don't think we can do that effectively if we're not looking at the whole gospel and we're not seeing people as human beings, as spiritual beings, and having physical needs. Because we can't effectively teach people to love God with their whole heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love their neighbor as themselves if we're not modeling that. And I don't think you can model that effectively. I don't think you can engage in that effectively if you're not looking at the whole city and the whole church and the whole gospel. So that's my answer to the 3 questions. And hopefully you can hear what I said and the background noise isn't too distracting. Thank you.